Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is the September Scrap 5 hop. So we had to use school theme ephemera, hand journaling, tiny words, primary colors, and banners, which I thought was super appropriate since a lot of people are going back to school or virtual learning or however your kids are going back to school or however you're teaching. So I'm starting off with trying to get some products together. I don't have a kit this month, so it was a little awkward getting started because I didn't really have a set of supplies I knew I was going to use, and it stumped me more than I thought it was. I take for granted how much easier my process is when I already have the supplies I know I'm going to use. So I started out by looking at my photo. I knew I needed to pull in some primary colors. I found this distressed red wood grain. Would you look at how identical it is to my photo? I was so proud of myself. Well, not proud of myself, but like pleased that just so happened to be a paper in my stash. It went so perfect, and I was like, well, I have to use this. It's red. It'll be a good background, so I'm going for that right off the bat, but I just couldn't believe my luck with finding that paper with this photo. So I had near this red paper a bunch of scraps of this navy cardstock, and I only had a few scraps left, but I had enough to map my photo, and then I had enough scraps left where I can cut some more banners. So I'm starting with this big banner design. Banners is one of the 5 things we needed to use, and so I figured I would just make it a major design element and just make a big banner the design of my page. So I started off by matting my photo in white. Again, I'm still out of white paper. I have not made my way to the scrapbooking store. So I used some white copy paper from my printer so I could have this little skinny white mat around the photo, and it did the job. It's not, high quality paper, but it gives me that little white rim around the photo that I was looking for. And then I went ahead and matted it on a large piece of this navy, cut it into a giant banner, and now I'm just going to hang banners next to this one across the page. I've done this a couple times. It's not a go-to design for me, but I always really have fun when I do this. I think there's a couple process videos where I have a design similar to this. I know there's one in my How to Kill a Kit with Style from when I used P13 products, and there was one a while ago on my channel. I think I was using die cuts with a view paper pad, but anyways, it's always really fun, and it's not something I usually go towards, but since banners was one of the things we needed to use, I took that as an opportunity. And then I was just going through my stash trying to figure out what ephemera I was going to use. Again, I have such a huge problem with trying to find ephemera when I'm not using a specific kit where there's ephemera included. So it was a good challenge for me to try and stretch my legs and try and pull things that didn't go with a specific collection in together. And I knew I needed some yellow. There's some yellow in the photo from these autumn leaves that are beneath Bennett's feet, but I did want to make sure I pulled yellow in some other way too. And I found these really cute rubber embellishments. I forget which collection those are from, but I thought it just went perfect. They're autumn themed. There was a couple red, an orange, and 2 yellow rubber pieces, as well as a green leaf, which again I thought I would be nice pulling in that green leaf just to reference Bennett's green shirt. So it wasn't the only green thing. So I'm hoping I can pull those in as my ephemera pieces. I know I'm going to need more than that, but I'm just kind of stuck at this point. So I figured I would start working on the design I know I'm going to work from. I knew I needed something layered on top of these blue banners because they're just way too plain. This solid blue cardstock I thought was going to be a good background for my design, but I definitely needed to pile some stuff on top of it to make it more interesting. So I did go through a paper pad I have a little 6x6 paper pad of just wood grains, and I pulled out this white distressed wood grain that I felt had the same feel as this red wood grain in the background. So I'm layering those banners up together. So this banner style, it's a lot of fun when you really start layering banners, and it's so easy to do. So if you've never done a layout like this, I strongly advise that you try it because it is a lot of fun. So then once I got that kind of set up, I decided just to play around with these rubber ephemera pieces. So I kind of sprinkled them around the page. It was looking really messy and just like they were just thrown everywhere. But I thought if I could add some more things and kind of cluster them into little groupings, it would make more sense. I got stuck again though, because as far as I'm concerned, I have my primary colors, I have the banner done, but I do need to pull in some school themed ephemera, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do that. I didn't really have what I would consider school themed as far as like, I don't know, die cuts that would go with that, but I did go through my ephemera boxes and I found some big gold paper clips, and I was like, paper clips are kind of a school supplies, I'll pull that in. So I pulled in these 3 giant gold paper clips, which I would not have done if it wasn't like a school themed ephemera that I was trying to use up, but I actually really love what it added to the design, and it really helped push my design forward, because once I introduced this gold, then it opened up a doorway for me to pull in a whole bunch of other gold things, which helps me along the line when I need to start thinking about, you know, titles and stuff like that. So once I got these 3 gold paper clips clipped up by the banner, I start grouping these little rubber embellishments together, and it starts to make more sense. So my idea at this point is just to have a lot of stuff up by this banner section, and then trying to leave the rest of the page alone so that your eye has a place to rest after it takes in this banner that has all of this different ephemera on it. So now that I've glued down these banners, I'm just going to trim off what's hanging over the edge so I can kind of see what I have to work with. And then I'll see what I can do from there. But I'm kind of liking how they're spread out right now. I like how the yellows are across the page from each other. I like that the green is kind of far away from Bennett's shirt, so it pulls that color into a different area. I love this cute little rubber fox that I'm planning on having on the bottom right corner of this photo, just to pull that rubber dimension and ephemera into another part of the page. But I got stuck here a little bit, and I really thought it would be nice having a string or twine or something that this banner is actually hanging from. So I'm just taking my Tombow Mono Multi liquid glue, and I'm doing a really little fine line right up next to the tops of those banners, and I'm just shoving this golden white twine up against the top of those paper pieces so it looks like it's an actual banner on the page. And one strand kind of looked too wimpy, so I decided to go back with 2 strands, and I was really liking how it was looking, but for whatever reason I felt like 3 strands was the magic number really to make this look like a nice banner piece. So I went in with 3 strands. I'm just repeating myself. I'm just running that liquid glue across the top of the previous section and then butting this twine up against it. And I'll let that dry, but that glue is super strong, so I don't really have to worry about those strands moving. I will let that dry, and then I will just snip the ends of the twine off. But I think that looks really cool. I really think that adds to the banner effect. Excuse me. But since I did pull twine up there, I did want to have twine somewhere else on the page as well, so that it's kind of balanced, if you will. I know I say that a lot in my pages when I like to pull some random thing into one part of the page. I do like to try and pull it into a separate part of the page as well, just so it's all cohesive. But with having this little fox in the bottom right hand corner, I thought it would be really nice having a twine bundle in that same, you know, color down behind the fox, just so that's all pulled in. I think that looks super cute, so I just globbed some of that Tombow Mono Multi glue on the back of the fox to really hold down all of that twine, but that works out really well actually. So after I have that all together, I kind of got stuck again, so I was like, right, I'm just gonna go ahead and work on a title. I have this big open part to the left of the photo, so I thought that would be a perfect part or area for the title. So I decided just to use these gold glitter thickers, and they actually are on navy foam, which is really nice because it helps pull that navy into the title as well. But I really like the gold because it right now, the gold paper clips really look out of place, but as soon as I add this gold title, it all makes sense. And I really like how that all balances each other. But I'm just saying fall school photo. This was Bennett's first little school photo shoot at my mom's daycare. So I really wanted to make sure I documented that. He looked so cute there sitting on that little suitcase, and definitely wanted to get that recorded. So I think that looks really nice with balancing the gold. And then I still need to get tiny words on here as well. That was another one of our Scrap 5 recipe items. So I pulled out my Tim Holtz sticker book, which I have not used in forever. So I was super happy to have an excuse to pull this out as well. But I'm just looking through a bunch of the white stickers and just trying to cluster 3 different words in 3 different areas just to create a visual triangle with all these little tiny words. And so I'm just trying to pick things that I think are relevant to the photo. So the first little cluster I have up there is photograph, smile, and boy. I'm going to have a little cluster down by the fox that says cherish, adore, and child. And then I'm going to have another cluster in the upper right hand corner on the empty part of that banner that says enjoy life. So I think that looks really nice. I really think that helps fill in a lot of the blank area that was still bothering me on those big navy banners. So that helps a lot. Takes me a while to figure out what words I'm going to use, but I think all of those go pretty well. I also like that it pulls in more white, because right now I have the skinny white border around the photo, and I have these 2 little white distressed wood grain banners on top of the navy banners, but I was kind of feeling like other than the twine, I really didn't have a lot of white on here, so I think that helps pull white around the page more as well. And now that the twine is glued down and dried, I'm just snipping the edges off. I think that looks really nice, and since I'm pulling in gold with the title and the paper clips, I did go in with some Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine. I'm just going to do a little diagonal sprinkle just to add a little bit of gold in some other places as well. And then I will go back to that thicker sheet. The thicker sheet had some periods and some asterisks, so I wanted to get those spread around the page as well as some ephemera just to pull that glitter gold into other spots. And then I felt like staples were also a school supply. I saw my tiny attacher sitting next to my desk, and I figured I'm already using paper clips, I might as well get staples on there too, just to make sure I have the school theme ephemera kind of covered. So I am just stapling the ends of the twine down just to make sure they don't come up or unravel. They're glued down pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it, but I think that's a nice little touch. So right now I have everything down except for my handwritten journaling. I didn't have too much to say, but I did just journal what a cutie underneath the title just so there was hand journaling on there. But that is the recipe. So that was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you play along if you can and tag us. Just do #scrap5 and watch everyone else playing along. Thanks for watching. Bye.